Oh yeah, pipe smokers. Yep, it's the Paul Gilson YouTube channel, and I am Paul Gilson, and it is the 17th of February, 2025, and we have a balmy 15 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Oh, it's just so nice and warm. Yeah. So yeah, it's our Monday night smoke together. So grab your favorite pipe, grab your favorite blend, and if you want something to drink, that's up to you, Hey, yeah, let's have a smoke together. Yeah, happy Monday. Oh, yeah, so I have my Carolina Briar. It's a shell finish pipe. And every time I smoke this, I think of, is it Carolina Rose that has her video channel? I think it's Carolina Rose, right? And in it, we have something simple. I didn't want to deal with plug, rope, any of that stuff. Scotty's Butternut Burley. Yeah. Let's start something on fire. Ah, yeah. So I really kind of came to the conclusion recently, I'd like to give the cigarettes up. And I've tried the patch before, and in high amounts it works. I remember one time my doctor's like, do you want to quit smoking? I'll give you a prescription for the patch. And every insurance company in New York State will cover that in full. Even if you got one of those big $6,000 deductible things, if you show them that you want to try to quit smoking, your doctor calls on the prescription. This may be the same in other states, I don't know. And the insurance company will just pay for it. So it was like, yeah, get me the 21 milligram ones. She's like, those are the highest ones you can get. I says, I know, I'm a heavy smoker. She calls it in. I slapped two of those babies on my chest the next morning, right after I got out of a hot shower. And it worked. I didn't want a cigarette. If you're going to do that, I mean, now I got 42 milligrams going into me. And it says for a heavy smoker, 44 milligrams is really the max you ought to go. And I'm a heavy smoker. So I went in for my next doctor's well visit, and she was asking me how it went, and I said I quit for like 4 days. And then I had to train two idiots that were high on marijuana. They were idiots, stupid. They couldn't comprehend anything I was attempting to teach them. And I was so frustrated by that, I came home and lit up a cigarette and started smoking again. She's like, well, how many of the patches did you use? And I said, I put a 21 milligram on each side, two of them. She's like, you're not supposed to use that much. And I says, well, I'm still alive. And I didn't smoke until these idiots stressed me out real bad. She was telling me, she said that her father died of lung cancer from smoking. And I said, okay. And she's a Turkish lady. She loves me. And I love her, my doctor. I says, how old was your dad when he died? She's like, 83. 83? Yeah, he quit smoking when he was 62, but he was going to the Turkish club. They had bad ventilation, and everyone was smoking in there, and that's what gave him lung cancer. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, 83 is a pretty good long life. So I was talking with my buddy Dave today. We're texting each other back and forth on and off throughout the entire day. I enjoy talking with that guy. And he says, man, you ought to really try this snuff. And he says, it made me quit smoking cigarettes. He says, about 4 times a year, I'll have one cigarette. I hope his wife isn't watching. Maybe she's ready to kill him now. So he has 4 cigarettes a year. I work with a lady. She used to smoke a pack and a half a day. She's down to 1 cigarette a day. It's like, just, okay. So 1 cigarette a day is not going to do you any harm. So I was talking with Dave, and he was telling me, he says, man, he says, here's the snuff that I use, I like. The only good snuff is made in the United Kingdom. He said snuff use in the United States has gone so far down, you can't get a reliable source to get any good snuff. So you're going to have to pay up a little bit, which I did. So I went to Mr. Snuff, and they're in the UK, and with shipping and everything, it was like $29 some change for a 20-gram tin of this Jocks whatever. So, you know, and then David sent me a video to watch on this guy showing how to use snuff and everything. So I'm going to give it a try. It's not going to be in for a couple of weeks. I might just go on the patch. I've only got 3 packs of cigarettes left. It's like, why go spend $160 on 4 cartons? I can go on the patches. I do have a little bit of chew. I know that's bad for your gums and everything like that, but it's better than inhaling these things. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, I can smoke a cigar, and I don't inhale a cigar every time that I take a puff off of it. I let the smoke linger in my mouth, and I'm getting the nicotine that way, but maybe about once every 5th or 6th puff off the cigar, I'll inhale it just like 25% of the way, versus where you're smoking a cigarette 100% of the way in. So might try that method too. I just love to give these things up because, I mean, I smoke in my house. I don't smoke in my car. That's one thing when I got my new Subaru, my new to me Subaru, you know, it's used, but I was like, this thing has leather interior. It's a beautiful car. I'm so thankful for the Lord for it. I'm not going to smoke in it. I've never smoked in it. I've had it for 7 months now. I haven't even had the urge to light up a cigarette. Every other vehicle I've owned my entire life, since I was 17, I smoked cigarettes in. I was like, I'm not going to do that with this car. It smells like a brand new car. It's got leather interior. That leather is going to just soak it all up. All that smoky, shitty smell. Oh, yeah. This pipe is smoking good. Oh, yeah. So, I just checked my inventory of nicotine patches, and I've got a lot more than I thought I had. I've got, of these 21 milligram patches, the box originally contained 28 of them. And as you can see, I still have many left. There's got to be easily 20 of them in there. And then I have 2 boxes of 14 milligrams. So what the hell, man? You just throw 3 or 4 of those on you, and you're all good. 4 times 14 is like 56. That might be too much. Maybe 3. That'd be like 3 times 14 is 42. Yeah. Right? 28. Yeah, 42. 28, 38. Yeah, 42. So 3 of these would equal 2 of these. And these are full boxes. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I'm just tired of smoking. I'm 60 years old. So my doctor, she's like, well, you know, why do you need the 21 milligram ones? I says, because I don't want the Mormon dose. I want the Paul Gilson's a real heavy smoker dose, not the Mormon dose. Okay. She laughed. She understood it. The funny thing is this was weird, man. This was like 3 years ago. And this is when Biden was in. And they've got this New York State quit hotline where you can call up and they'll send you free patches. So I call it up. This is funny. It was kind of weird, but funny. Call up and this woman, well, it was a man, okay, answers the phone. New York State quit line. This is Angela speaking. Who am I speaking with? And I was like, oh, Angela? Yes, my name is Angela. Okay, Angela. She sounded like a linebacker, but I knew that she was a he. So I says, okay, yeah, and I gave her all my information. Okay, before we send these out to you, we need to ask just a couple questions. I says, okay. She says, how do you identify yourself? I says, and I'm thinking, how do I identify myself? She says, I identify myself as Mr. Richard Paul Gilson. She's like, no, you don't get what I mean. I says, no, I don't. My name is Mr. Richard Paul Gilson. That's how I identify myself, by my name. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Gilson? I says, no, maybe you want to shed a little light on that. What does this have to do with quitting smoking? I have to ask these questions. I says, okay. She says, are you a homosexual? I said, what? No. Are you a bisexual? No. Do you identify as a female? I says, no. And she went through all these different things. It went through all these different things. She says, so you identify as straight? I says, yes, I am straight. Then she goes on to answer all these other weird questions. I said, look, when's this going to stop? You said it was just a couple of questions. Now you're asking me all these real strange questions about sexuality and this and that. And, I don't understand what that has to do with quitting smoking. I have to ask these questions, Mr. Gilson. So finally we finished up, and I was ready to put the gun in my mouth. I was like, what the fuck? about 3 weeks later, I get a call from a nice young lady. She's from the New York State quitting smoking line. She says, I really want to hear about your experience with Angela. I says, well, it was very strange. I said, ma'am, you sound like a normal young lady who's just working a job. You're doing follow-up calls. And she was like, yeah. I says, this lady asked me this question, that had nothing to do with smoking or quitting smoking, and I don't appreciate that. She says, I understand, Mr. Gilson. She says, I can hear him talk in the background asking those questions. She couldn't say weird questions, or she'd probably lose her job. She says, I can understand how you feel, Mr. Gilson. Did you get the patches okay? Yep, I did. I says, if I was you, I would find a different line of work, because you sound like a nice young lady. You could work in customer service for Verizon, anything you want to do. You sound like a very intelligent, nice young lady. She was like, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I may be looking towards different other opportunities in the future. I says, that was just a weird experience. Who the hell asks you when you call up to quit smoking if you suck dick? What the hell? You know? It was weird. God. So I don't know if Trump has fixed this yet. He probably doesn't even know about it. It's probably still the same way. I'm half tempted to call again just to see if it is. Actually, I'd like to call again and somehow record it. Does anybody know how I can record a phone call and then upload the audio along with video? Because I'd have it on speakerphone recording. Is there any way I can record myself like this on speakerphone, record the whole conversation with me answering the questions, and then upload it in a video? Is there any way to do that? Come on, you techies out there, tell me. It was really strange. Yeah, gosh. I love it when, I love the stuff that the DOGE is doing. They are looking at every single federal agency that in the past is used to being in power, and all of a sudden they have to deal with Elon Musk, who was appointed, thank the Lord, by Donald Trump to lead the DOGE, all right, which is the Department of Government Efficiency. Yeah. And I think it's great that all these people now that are used to being in power, that are used to putting the squeeze on us, they're getting the squeeze put on them. And they're finding some really shady stuff. And I hope the people that they find out that have really done a lot of shady stuff, made a ton of money at our taxpayers' expenses, I hope they hold them accountable. I do, I mean, how does a state senator go in, making $178,000 a year, and all of a sudden, 3-4 years, they're a multimillionaire? How does that happen? I know mathematics, all right, which means if I'm making $50,000 a year, I ought to be at least a millionaire after 3-4 years, right? with the way that their situation works. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. I have some work to do. Hope you enjoyed the smoke together. Hope you got a few laughs out of it. David, hope I didn't get you in trouble over sharing that you smoke 4 cigarettes a year. I don't know if your wife's all that pissed off over it, I don't know what to say. 4 cigarettes a year. Come on. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. Thank the Lord. Over and out.